We spent a lot of time researching the kind of work environment we wanted to have in our new location, and spoke to a number of vendors, and we also had a chance to visit a number of locations where folks had recently installed workstations and set up new environments. And really through our work searching for space, we worked with High Real Estate and looking at some of their locations. And actually Bill Bovin at High Real Estate recommended EthoSource to us. And as it turned out, EthoSource provided us with the best combination of price and value in terms of what we needed to fit the space. I think the flexibility to design it to fit this unique historic space that we're in. Well, we moved here in the city from one city location to another, from about 5,000 square feet up to over 8,000 square feet here. The really big difference we saw is we left behind really old workstations in 5,000 feet that I'd call a big square. It was kind of an easy space to lay out with perimeter offices. And here we moved into 4 maybe historic buildings, 3 historic buildings that make up this location. They're actually on 2 different levels. So it wasn't just a cookie cutter, here's your square space, just lay it out. You had to kind of look at this space and understand its unique character. Well, how do we make workstations fit into this space? So this new space that we moved into further into the city also presented a number of challenges moving into it literally, because we're right on the street, we're right on an alley, a very tight location, and logistics for EthoSource to move into our space and up elevators was quite a challenge. Well, we did take an opportunity to visit your warehouse up in Morgantown, or New Morgan. And I was like, wow. First thing was like, look at this huge warehouse. You had an incredible amount of material to look at and to choose from. Your display room there was chock full of almost too many chairs to try to pick chairs from. But you had quite a variety of product to show us, and the flexibility. I think of the Herman Miller product as one of the things that really sold us, that we could configure it in just about any way we wanted to. So we checked your website out and got to know a lot about you that way, which was really great because we got to see a lot of the product also that way. But I think it's when we came up to the warehouse and saw the size of the operation and realized also that you had an additional warehouse, I believe, up in Reading, that you were a substantial organization and you had access to a lot of product. Well, we had priced new product, new workstations, and we're a nonprofit. So you can imagine we were very budget conscious, and so price was an issue for us. But we also were leaving what I would call really outdated, almost grungy workstations behind, and I wanted my employees to really feel good about the new environment they were coming into. That it really was a change and an upgrade, if you will, from where we were. And so, and I was kind of initially maybe not a believer that just what this stuff was going to look like refurbished. And I got to tell you, now that the product's installed, almost everyone that walks in here and sees our space thinks we bought new. They have no idea that this is refurbished. So the product quality, I got to say, at the end of the day, exceeded my expectations. And I think my employees are just thrilled with the product. I think that working in historic buildings like ours, we had unique challenges, but in this kind of a building, things aren't just where you think they should be. Sometimes, like even where the electrical sources are, and then this subflooring here was very old. So we had some challenges to work with to get things laid out, if you will, just right. But amazingly, the product, once it was delivered and installed, everything fit, everything went where it was supposed to go. And so overall, at the end of the day, it was a great experience. Certainly there are a lot of vendors to consider when it comes to workstations, and there's always the notion of, well, gee, I want new stuff. But I think if somebody's really looking for great value and a great product and flexibility in design and a lot of technical support behind the scenes, they absolutely should come to EthoSource. You guys clearly have the wherewithal to give folks just great value, great product at a great price.